And we begin with a dramatic arrest of a suspect in the leak of those classified Pentagon documents exposing U.S. intelligence secrets on Ukraine, China, Iran, and even on America's allies. The hunt ending outside the suspect's family home in Massachusetts, armed federal agents taking him into custody. 21-year-old Jack Teixeira is an Air National Guardsman and an IT specialist at Otis Air National Guard Base on Cape Cod. Authorities say that for months, someone shared America's secrets with members of a small invitation-only gaming group. But those documents eventually spread far beyond it and around the world. Overnight, the Washington Post posting this interview with one young member of that group. He called the group's leader OG without revealing his true identity. But federal investigators were already closing in. ABC's chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, leads us off.
He sat on his parents' back deck, a news helicopter hovering overhead as an FBI SWAT team in full tactical gear approached. This is the moment they arrested the young man authorities believe may be responsible for the massive leak of top-secret information that has rattled America and our allies around the world. 21-year-old Jack Teixeira, with his hands on his head, walking out of his family home in North Dighton, Massachusetts. Agents order him to turn around, and slowly he backs towards them. He is seized, taken into custody, and led to an SUV.
Today, the Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas Teixeira in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information.
Teixeira was a low-ranking enlisted airman, an IT specialist for the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard at Otis Air Force Base in Cape Cod. Ever since the story of the massive leak exploded into the headlines, the Pentagon and FBI have been on the hunt for the culprit. Was it a spy? Was it a rogue foreign power? Then overnight, a blockbuster report in the Washington Post describing the man behind the leak not as an international criminal mastermind, but as a young man trying to impress a small group of other young men and teenagers in a 25-person invitation-only chat group in the online gaming forum Discord. The Post talking to one of those teens, appearing in shadow with his mother's permission. He described the person who he said posted all those classified documents.
He was a young, charismatic man who loved nature, God, who loved shooting guns and racing cars. He did have sort of a bossy attitude at some points, but it was more of a fatherly bossy. He did see himself as the leader of this group, and he was the leader of this group.
The teen said that starting last fall, the man who he called OG posted hundreds of pages of classified documents to impress his friends in the group.
The documents were often listed as Ukraine versus Russia at first. However, it slowly spiraled into just intelligence about everything.
How did that feel to know things before the rest of the world knew them?
It felt like I was on top of Mount Everest. It felt like I was above everyone else to some degree, and that I would be able to brag to some people that I knew stuff that they didn't.
But in the months that followed, the documents were shared well beyond that small chat group. The Post reporter also viewed video of the man identified as OG standing at a shooting range with a rifle, yelling racial and anti-Semitic slurs before firing his weapon at a target. But when the story of the leaks mushroomed into an international crisis, the teen said OG became alarmed. He says OG said goodbye to the group just a few days ago.
He was just saying that this may be the last he ever sees of us, and he was thanking us for all the good times that we had together and hoping that everything would blow over.
A remarkable interview with that young man. Martha Raddatz joining us now from Washington. And Martha, as you noted there, Jack Teixeira is a very low-ranking member of the armed services, raising even more questions about why he had such access to top-secret information.
You know, Whit, he may not even have been approved to see what he allegedly copied. We just don't know that yet. But he was an IT specialist, meaning he may have worked on computers that had classified information.
And Martha, we know it's early in the investigation, but what are you learning about whether the Pentagon will reassess who can see these kinds of classified documents in the future?
Well, already today, the Secretary of Defense has ordered a review of who gets access to top secret documents and how that information is handled and contained. Whit?
That will be something to watch. Martha, thank you. And President Biden has been tight-lipped about the leak, but he broke his silence in Ireland today, speaking shortly before the arrest was made. Let's listen.
I'm not concerned about the leakages, and I'm concerned that it happened. But there's nothing contemporaneous that I'm aware of that is of great consequence.
ABC's senior White House correspondent Mary Bruce traveling with the president. Mary, he seemed to downplay the significance of the information within those leaks.
He did, and Whit, I've just been told that the president has been briefed on the arrest. But as you heard there, the president is arguing that the information that was leaked is outdated. But there is no question they are deeply concerned about the national security implications of all of this. You have to remember what was in these documents: detailed information about the fight for Ukraine, assessments about their strategy against Russia, and revelations that the U.S. is spying not just on our adversaries, but on some of our allies as well. The Biden administration has been scrambling to try and contain the fallout of all of this, reaching out to top officials around the world. Whit?
Mary Bruce, our thanks to you tonight.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.